All right. Apparently, I'm live. So, bear with me. I haven't been using OBS forever, and I'm like so choppy at it, so bad at it. Um, and yeah, I don't know if you guys have this problem, but do you see on the screen right now how the video nothing's being displayed? That's weird. It only does that when I'm streaming. It doesn't do it like if I do a test, a recording beforehand. So I'm probably just going to end this stream. That just ruined it. Oh, there it is. It's on there now. So I don't know why it does that. Um, it did it to me on the last stream, and it just discouraged me from going live because I don't know how to use OBS, and I really don't care to take that time to try to relearn whatever I'm doing wrong. We'll give it a try. If it doesn't play, I'm not gonna try very long here or very hard. Okay, so I just want to show you guys this. I should have been playing this in the background. This was yesterday. They launched another one of these dumb things, and it's really to what end, you guys? Like, if you really think about it, let me pause it. What's the reason for launching a rocket? I mean, there's probably several reasons. Someone in a comment left on my channel said to lift heavy things into orbit. I'm like, what for though? Do you want to live up there? Do you want to build a foundation for your house up there? Like, what are we planning on doing here? Where we're spending $500 billion every year or whatever in this world in the aerospace industry. Like, I understand traveling in the world, like that's a huge business, like commercial airlines and stuff. Yeah. But there's something, like when you ask somebody, like, what's your end goal? And they don't really have an end goal, except they go. Oh, by the way, I have this guy with me. Oh, he's singing a song for you. He won't leave me alone. Going on my lap now. Since I moved him, he's kind of unhappy. Okay, so you guys notice that this thing is ascending into heaven, right? Or it's ascending up to the sky. I just wanted to let me show you a verse here. Let's see. Let me just say it. It's in Isaiah 14. It's talking about Lucifer. And Lucifer says in his heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also set my congregation upon the sides of the north. That's God's holy mountain, the sides of the north. I learned that, I think, in Psalm 48. We'll look it up in a minute. Okay, so this is the biggest rocket, whatever. This is you guys. I'm gonna after we go through this, I'm going to be able to show you that I think that I don't think it's ridiculous to think that the prophets were shown specifically this type of flying machine, and they were shown what it did to the sky, and that it caused destruction. And people are like, "There's no rockets in the Bible." Okay, I'm glad you think that. Let's just start out. First of all, let me just make sure that I'm even displaying it. It looks like me. Or wait, yeah, it looks like I am. Wow. Okay, so it's launching, and the reason why, like, okay, there's an ad. I really don't care about launching a rocket or anything like that. What I care about is we've found ourselves just being in a generation where they're doing this. The last time that people were doing something like this was in the Tower of Babel. They wanted to make a name for themselves, so they wanted to go outside of the earth. They wanted to go up into the heavenly realm, and they wanted to set a foundation for themselves. They wanted to make a name. And God stopped them. And he said, with one language and one tongue, nothing that they imagine will be restrained from them. Kind of like if they imagine to go to the moon, they'll probably go to the moon, or at least think they go to the moon or whatever. If they imagine a low Earth orbit where things can just orbit the Earth, maybe they can do it. That's what God said. He said nothing that they imagine would be stopped from them doing it. They could accomplish whatever they imagined. And we have Google Translate. We have apps, translator apps on your phone. You can talk to someone. There is no language barrier in this world anymore. So, and look what we're doing. We're doing the exact same thing. We're climbing up to heaven, trying to climb up to heaven. But the reason why I wanted to show you this was because I think I can show you maybe what the prophets saw, or I mean, probably not specifically, but something that I think you'll be familiar with seeing. It's actually down here on the right side of the screen. I don't know if you can see that. So this thing, let me just go a little further. Okay, so let's go to the landing or the catch. Okay, first of all, let's just go right here. Okay, you guys, I could share a story with you, but I'm not going to. Maybe I will later. Okay, this booster is coming back down now, right? It already went up to the sky, however high it was going to go, and however fast it was going to go, and then what it did was it turned around, and it was going to go right back to where it launched from, at that tower thing, and they were going to catch it, right? And that they actually did. But what I want to point out is that in the Bible, like, this is so important for the, like, for 2,000 years, if you can think of an example, and I'm sorry I can't see the chat or anything, if you can think of an example of a time or any instance or any time when someone or something caused fire to come out of the sky and come down to the ground and in front of people, like with witnesses there. I don't think that's happened in 2,000 years until like 2015 when they started landing these rockets. So let's watch let's watch just this a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm kind of all over the place. Whoop. I just want to show you, like, people would say, oh, you got to interpret the Bible and everybody interprets it different. Well, certain words have meanings. That's how we communicate. That's how you know what I'm saying right now, is because you understand the words the same way I understand the words. So words are words, right? This is just interesting to me. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. But look at this. Look at what he does in verse 13. And he does great wonders, doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right? Let me just make sure that you guys are seeing that. Okay, good. So he's going to make fire come down from the sky for people to watch. And that was going to be like something amazing. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he power to do in the sight of the beast. So, Bible believers, the way I look is when there's actually a case of where they're doing it like 2 times a week. They're landing these Falcon 9 boosters after they launch all these Starlink satellites. And let's just do a little research. I think they're well over 300 landings of these rockets. So it's not like it's something brand new, and it's not like it's something that's like crazy today. But this Starship that launched yesterday is so much more massive, and it does the same thing. But what was I just going to look up? I totally lost it. I'll have to skip that. My mind is going all over the place. Okay, so let's just watch this. This thing literally makes fire come down from heaven, you guys. And like I said, if you can give me an example of a time when, because everyone, when I bring this up and I'm like, is this what John was shown in Revelation? Was he shown specifically these landing rockets? And people are just like, dude, that's so dumb. And they like act like I'm evil or something because I'm noticing that John said, hey, I saw a beast coming up out of the earth. And it wasn't like growing up from the ground because it went up to heaven because it made fire come down from heaven. So it went out of the earth. So it went from the earth up to heaven and then it came back down and made fire come down from heaven. So when we watch stuff like this, I'm not going to just like overlook it and be like, no, that's not that. That's not what it is. This thing's moving so fast. Oh, look at fire coming out of the sky. A giant building is falling out of the sky. And then a lot of people are like, that's so fake, that's so fake. You know what? I'm glad you think it's fake. I know it's not, but I'm glad you think it is. And I truly am. Because what that means to me is that you're not falling for this garbage. We're going to go to Mars and God doesn't exist. Like, I don't see how, like, people like MC Toon or Will Duffy, how do you guys, and I can't, like, I'm not accusing you guys. Will Duffy, I don't know, but Toon had a live stream of this launch yesterday. And how can someone be like, oh yeah, I believe what it says in the Bible, I believe in Jesus, but then when the testimony of Jesus tells John, shows him something that's going to happen at some point in time, and like to ignore that, you guys, we're looking at like there couldn't be a better candidate for what John was talking about, and the fact that probably half the people that are watching this or more are like, that's fake AF. Fake AF when they land the rocket. That's a good indicator that it's a deception, guys. Now, here's where, so MC Toon, so I put in his chat. I'll just share this story. It's like so dumb. The guy's just so dumb. I'm a flat earther. So MC Toon has this stereotype in his mind of what a flat earther believes. And so he just says, what's going on? Oh, okay. That's all we need for that video anyway. But let me just check. Okay. So I was going to show you, oh, you guys, I'm terrible at this. I got to go to my, I'm not fully prepared. Sorry. So anyway, I went into his chat and I said something like, it's making fire come down from heaven and you're going to fall for it or something like that in his chat. And I'm actually going to play you his reaction and I'll just show you. I'm just like, I don't like the drama of things, but I just need to show you guys, these guys, they don't even understand what I believe. Like what I'm saying is they just stereotype an idea. Equatorial mounts don't work on flat Earth. You guys are stupid. If you think that, you're stupid. The sky does what it does, and an equatorial mount follows the sky. Has nothing to do with flat or round. That's so, it's just, it shows me you guys don't even understand, like, reason. No reason. Yeah. Sorry. Where am I going here? I just lost my, I have to go to my YouTube, and you guys got to see that for a second. Sorry. I have to find, they're going to be shorts, actually, I think. Nope, they're not on there. What in the world? Let me see. I got to check some. I'm sorry, guys. I just uploaded 2 videos, and they're not showing up. They're unlisted, so it's not like they're supposed to show up, but they should show up for me. Maybe it's under videos? I have no idea. That is weird. Okay, I guess I'll just have to play it on my phone into my microphone. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this was just MC Tune. Let's see here. Okay. Well, let me get up on the screen what the comment I wrote so you guys understand the context. Give me a moment here. And I'm guessing that my stream is not working very good, but that's okay. Whatever. I'm going to keep trying. All right. How do I get that up there? Sorry, guys. I'm working on it. Image. Let me show you an image. Browse. Right here. Okay, I think what happened. Oh, there we go. Okay. It made it really big. Okay, effed up world in the middle there. I said, this was during the stream right after they landed that, right after they caught that booster. And I wrote, he makes fire come down from heaven, MC Tune, and you are falling for it, aren't you? And here's his reaction. I don't know why I can't play it on my, let me try one more time and see if I can find it here. That's so weird. Does it only show my public ones or something? Latest. That is so weird. I got it on my phone, so let me, I didn't plan on sharing this but I think it's important. It just shows that, like, first of all, if you were going to show these guys a long distance observation, they're not even going to listen to a word you're saying. They do not care. They know it's a curve. And so whatever you say is just stupid because you're a flat earther and you got dropped on your head as a kid. Okay, here's, this is 23 seconds long. I hope you can hear it.
Not done yet. Hey, Joe Hill, you can shut up.
Wow,
Joe Hill,
that is just
that's
absolutely
real.
stunning.
You're fake. Everything you like, Joe Hill, is fake.
And this, of course,
You're dedicated to a lie, Joe Hill.
Looking down at the top of the booster.
You can go. You can go. We don't need your. Not
There's
done
more.
yet.
Okay, so, whoops. He doesn't know how to read, I don't think. First of all, he knows that I know that rockets, like, first of all, I know way more about everything about rockets than Toon. He pretends to know, but he doesn't. You can tell by the way he talks. Like he was saying that the Starship's grid fins are made out of titanium. No, they're not. They're made out of steel. The Falcon 9 grid fins are made out of titanium. But that would just be... It just sounds cool for Toon to be able to say that to his audience. And they all just believe him. So they're going to go around... They're going to come to my channel and be like, you idiot! You think that the grid fins are made out of steel? Yeah, they're huge. They weigh more than 3 tons each one. Which is crazy. But so let's just listen to him again one time. And I'm not talking about the shut up Joe Hill part. I'm just talking about okay, let me read you the comment that I wrote again. He makes fire come down from heaven, MC Tune, and you are falling for it, aren't you? Okay. Nowhere there does it say that it's fake or anything like that. But remember, Toon is a dummy. He just like, oh, you're a flat earther? Close my eyes, close my ears. You're a worthless human being. I don't listen to you. I don't anything. Okay. So I said, he makes fire come down from heaven. And Toon is a Christian. He's read Revelation. He understands exactly what I'm talking about. After he just watched this rocket make fire come down from heaven, and he's like, oh, that's so cool. So then there's a little bit later on, but we're going to listen to this one more time.
Joe Hill, you can shut up.
Wow,
Joe Hill,
that is just
that's
absolutely
real.
stunning.
You're fake.
Joe Hill, that's real. You're fake. Okay, MC Tune, what's fake about me? And why would you say that that's real and you're fake? Why would you say that? I was talking about fire coming down from heaven.
Everything you like, Joe Hill, is fake.
Wait a minute. Why? What are you talking about fake for? You're an idiot, Michael.
Of course,
You're dedicated to a lie, Joe Hill.
Down at the top of the booster.
You can.
Okay, so here's the next video, or just a little. This one's a minute long, but I don't think it's a full minute here. Okay, so this is a little bit later on in the stream, and he comes and refers back to it. Listen to this. I don't understand. He just makes a stereotype. Here's another thing to keep in mind. I did a live stream with Toon on his channel like 5 years ago, and he titled it Flat Earth Space Exploration because I'm the only person that I've known that's a flat earther that knows that everything that they're doing in orbit and all that is totally real. It's like when people say, what's Starlink? It's exactly what SpaceX claims that it is. It's exactly that. But I think that I like seeing this final experiment stuff because you see all these people that just like, they don't care about truth at all. And they just like, oh, it's fake. It's fake. Like they just jump on a bandwagon and they live that life. And it doesn't work for me at all. And it never has, like with like space exploration. I'm not interested in it, but for some reason I've followed it, whatever. Like all these starships, like you can know every detail. They're not like classified stuff. It's public. Like you can see how they're doing it. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Listen to this dummy.
W says, get the FCUK in. Bloody awesome. Yes, absolutely. That is amazing. Icy Spin says humans did that. Yes, humans did that. And as that was happening, a flat earther comes in to deny that it actually happened. So he got a timeout for, yeah, you can go away, Joe Hill.
Did you hear? He just lied. Totally just lied.
That really happened.
That really happened.
Imagine the desperation, the cult mentality that you'd have to just say, that really happened.
That really happened, Toon. That's what I think, too. You just made up this whole thing about some dumb flat earther. What a cult-like behavior. You just made it all up. Idiot. Idiot. Let's listen to see what he says.
People really did that.
People really
Rockets
did
really
that.
do go to space. There are really people orbiting space.
There's people orbiting space, guys. Because things orbit space, don't they? All right, Toon. You know what? And so I put a comment under that video yesterday. And I said, you didn't understand what I was saying. I wasn't saying it was fake. And then I said, it's kind of sick how you just like paint this stereotype and then paste it onto people. When like you don't think people can see that? Like, yeah. Anyway, and he goes, "You're a horrible person. Go away." That's MC Toon. Because I've actually tried to have a conversation with him, but he doesn't want to. So that's fine. Or he puts things in the chat like, I saw one day he's like, it was in Jaren's chat, I think, or somewhere, and or maybe at Will Duffy, or Final Experiment, maybe, but he goes something like, "I gotta go. Love you all, except Joe Hill." I'm like, God, what a weirdo. I just think that's weird, Toon. I think what it is, you don't like what I pointed out to you and Craig about the star trails, and I would not let it go that you guys kept getting it wrong. You still get it wrong. Will Duffy just got it wrong. All you guys think you understand something that you don't understand. It's crazy. It's crazy to watch. Craig fights for not the globe, for the star rotation. He doesn't understand it. And Will Duffy, same way. They think that, oh yeah, we got you. There's 2 points of rotation. That can't happen on a flat earth. You guys are dumb. Sorry. I'm just being a little bit blunt or harsh. To be dumb and what you're doing is jumping on a bet. You heard somebody say something. Equatorial mounts only work on a globe. You heard somebody say something and you have no idea why you just said that. Will Duffy, you have no idea why you just said that. And actually, Will Duffy said that to, who was it? I saw, on Professor Dave's video from today that he uploaded. He had Will Duffy, he interviewed Will Duffy or whatever. And Will said about equatorial mounts, he either said they don't work on a flat earth or they only work on a globe. Dude, I have two equatorial, I made one equatorial mount and I bought one equatorial mount and they work great. You don't get to say, that's mine. You can't do that on your flat earth. The sky already does what it does. You have no, okay. We are subject to what happens in the sky. We don't make it happen. We just see it happen. Okay? So in the south, when you do southern star trails, is that a home run, Will? Because there's always been southern star trails or northern star trails that are all going the same direction, but when you face south, you see one orientation. When you face north, you see the other rotation. It's all happening on Earth that's like this or like this. It doesn't make any difference. But that's okay. That's okay. So let's, that's MC Toon. I think he is lost. I think he's lost and I feel bad. I really feel bad because how can someone, okay, let's go through some scripture. Let me get this off the screen. Remove the image. Okay. Let me let's look at some scripture. Let me just go and see if I can get over to the chat to make sure. Okay, it looks like it's working. Oh, thank you, Chilling 5x5. Thank you. Awesome. Who gave Joe coffee? It's all fake? Oh, I hate that. You guys, if you're saying it's fake, you've lost your, you've lost the reason that you're doing anything. You're not doing it for the same reason that you used to. I can see that. I can see it. But, okay, so let me show you. Excuse me. So how I'm going to show you these videos even. Let's see. How did I even... Okay. I made a mistake, you guys. I was trying to get a video off my phone. We're going to have to search YouTube and see if I can get it to work. I don't know if we will. So that launch we were watching that happened yesterday, the booster, the first part came back and got caught and everything went great. But the part that was the Starship part blew up and it was going like 23,000 kilometers an hour, which I don't know if that's 15,000 miles an hour, something like that. Maybe 14. It was going really fast. And it basically disintegrated. And, you've probably already seen it on TikTok or wherever. That's where I was seeing it all, on TikTok and on YouTube. YouTube sucks for this kind of stuff. It's all Associated Press, Guardian News. I guess Scott Manley's the only one that's like not a news outfit that I could find. It was crazy. Reuters, NBC. Okay, so let's just watch one. I had some downloaded on my phone, but I just wasn't thinking of how to do that. I'd rather watch Scott Manley than any of these stupid news ones. At least Scott Manley's like a person. So we're just going to go to that part right there. So they lost the booster, and then right away people started sending in, uploading pictures like this. Let me go full screen for you. Do you think that, I'm just going to run this by you. Do you think that if God showed that to one of the prophets, that they might think that that's some of the stars falling down to the ground? A prophet? Because he don't know about rockets. He doesn't know that men can fly in the sky on giant you-know-whats. Okay, let's look at... Actually, look at... I want to go full screen again. Look at that color. It's like a rainbow. That was crazy. Let me go back a little. Whoops, not that far. Notice how it's going down towards the horizon? Yeah. But it's still not going into the ocean or whatever. It's burning up. Okay, let's find another one. I just want to show you some of the videos that people were uploading or whatever. Or maybe he's got a bunch on here, I bet. Oh, he's showing. Oh, here's the moment someone caught it the moment it blew up. Sorry that the screen's probably so small. Oh, that one's dumb. Let's see. Yeah, speaking of coffee, I just made a coffee and I didn't even take a drink yet. If you go on TikTok, that's all that's on TikTok. Every video of these star things or whatever. I guess Scott Manley didn't really have it very much. On-demand news. All right, we're watching it. Whatever. After this ad, it's so weird. Okay, look at that, you guys. Do you think that the prophets in the Bible that they might have been talking about something like that? I do, and we're gonna read about it. We're gonna have the prophets describe this on the screen for us in the Bible. Like they do it all the time. Okay, so you guys saw what I'm talking about though. It's like, it looks like a shooting star, or it looks like a meteor, or I heard some people saying comet. I watched an interesting video. I'm gonna save that for I'm making a whole video on when this landed. There's audio recorded of Elon Musk's reaction. It was either this one or it was the first time that it happened a couple months ago or whatever. And his kid's with him. I don't remember his kid's name, but his kid is with him. And right before the booster's gonna get caught, the kid knew what was gonna come. And he goes, "Now comes a fire. It's gonna make fire." Elon Musk's kid said that before they caught it. I was like, wow. He recognizes that it's fire coming down from the sky. Isn't that like I don't know, how old is he? 4? 3? 5? 4? They're a lot smarter than any of us adults are, you guys. Okay, so I want to show you something else. Because this, or we'll go to this last. Okay, Zechariah. Let's just go here. Okay, you guys know about low Earth orbit. Let's see if we can Wikipedia low Earth orbit. Okay, because the prophets describe it too. Wikipedia or the prophets, your choice. Okay, a low Earth orbit, LEO, is an orbit around the Earth with a period of 128 minutes or less, and an eccentricity less than 0.25. Okay, hold on a minute. Here we go. NASA will have a better description. Okay, what is LEO? Encompasses Earth-centered orbits with an altitude of 1,200 miles or less. So that would be low Earth orbit. Okay, back to Zechariah 5. Okay. We'll look at the KJV just for fun. Okay. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. We'll have to remember that. I'm going to copy that right now, because we're going to look at something that's crazy. Okay. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Wait a minute. A flying roll that goes forth over the face of the whole earth? That sounds like it would be an orbit to me. If it's going over the whole earth. Right? And then there's another Daniel also describes that low Earth orbit too. Let's see. Okay, you guys, listen to this. In this Daniel chapter 8, I think he's describing a rocket launch. And there's good reason why. Because it's not like a airplane launch, because it made it all the way up to the stars. So it's something that it's whatever he was seeing, it was something that would make it all the way to the stars. So very interesting. And he saw it on the ground first. He saw it down on the ground first. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. Because he had a vision just this chapter before about that was intense too. And I saw in a vision it came to pass that when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai, then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. Okay, I just want to show you something really quick first. So what he was seeing in this vision, it was standing by a river. He had to look up to see it. This is what I want to show you guys. Okay, this word ram, obviously we know what a ram is, right? But when we look at the word that is used, it's not just the animal. Whoops. Here we go. Ram. Let's look at this word, because when I first figured this out, I was like, whoa. Okay. A ram, leader, pillar, a post, a mighty tree, meaning strength, strong, a chief, a ram, a pilaster. You guys know what a pilaster is? A pilaster. It's like a big column, but it's like built into the facade. It's like a... Okay. This word is also... Oh, no. Okay, good. Look at where else this word is used, too. It's used for a gatepost in Solomon's temple, I think. I don't remember where that was. In Kings, I think. I don't know where it was. Whoa, there's a lot of them there. Okay. A lintel, that's like a header. They're like construction terms. Like you're saying, also a ram from his strength, a pilaster as a strong support, an oak or other strong tree. So he was seeing something very tall, and he said it had horns. Okay, let me just... When I read that, I think of this, and this is just me, but I'll show you since whoops. This is what I think of when I read that. I'll just get a picture up here for you. Okay. That's a Falcon Heavy. That's another SpaceX rocket, but... Okay. Back to Daniel. Where is that? Oh, we're here, I think. What did I do? Oh, I think I just closed it accidentally. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can reopen that. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so that word is interesting, ram. I don't think he was talking about an animal at all. But look what this does. It sounds like it's a rocket launch. I'm just saying. He makes it sound like it's an animal or something. But here, I'll just read till the end of verse 10, and because that's when the thing makes the stars be cast down to stars come down to the ground. Okay. Oh, yeah, and we're going to get some low Earth orbit in here, too. Okay, one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. Let me just show you. Okay. Whoops, what did I do? Did I close that? Of course I closed it. Let me try to... Oh, boy. Let me try to open one more. Okay. Okay, this rocket, it's like 3 boosters, and... oh, there we go. We can get it zoomed in. Okay, so the 2 side ones... They're the same as the center one, but it just has to be built a little different because it has this on top. But, so there's 3 boosters there. And after the side ones run out of fuel, they get they break off of it. And then the center one is the one that goes up last, which is interesting to me. So that center booster is the one that goes up last. But so he says... I'll just read the whole verse over again. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beasts might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great. Okay, listen to this verse. This is the low Earth orbit verse. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. Okay, I'm just showing you, just like keep in mind that this is just what I think, or this is just what comes to my mind. People always would be like, you said it's this, you said it's that. Yeah, shut up. I didn't say any of the things that you say that I said. Some people are terrible at that. Like they can't accurately do anything. Like I don't get it. It's actually it really bothers me sometimes. Like Tune. You think it's fake? You're so dumb. What kind of sick cult? No, I don't think it's fake, dude. You just made that up. You didn't even read my comment. You told me to shut up and block me or whatever, time me out. When I wasn't saying anything rude or anything, but that's okay. SpaceX. How do we get to SpaceX? I'm trying to get to their site, people. What in the world? Okay. I just want to show you this. This is a Dragon, you guys. And people are like, Satan's not a rocket. Yeah, sure. You can think that. You can think whatever you want. I'm not going to argue with you. Okay, so this is the Dragon capsule. Let's do something. Remember I copied something on my let's paste that in here. What do we got? The length thereof is 20 cubits and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. This was Zechariah, remember? He was seeing that flying roll, and he said what size it was. So, I'm going to write size in feet, because I know feet. If something is 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide, then in feet it would be 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. Okay, so 30 feet long, 15 feet wide. Let's just look at the Dragon capsule, just for fun. What's the height? 26.7 feet. And the diameter? 13 feet. Well, that's pretty close. I mean, probably just a coincidence that Daniel described something that, Zechariah, was describing something that he saw flying in the sky. And by the way, the angels told Zechariah that was the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. Okay, maybe I didn't even finish that part. We got to go back there right now. I didn't even finish reading it. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. Guys, low Earth orbit is a curse. It's a bottomless pit of darkness. Darkness. Bottomless pit of darkness. That's what I'm saying. To what end? Like, you think space is so cool, you think rockets are so cool. To what end? To destroy the earth. That's your goal. like in the Battle of Armageddon, these that's got a dragon in it too. These unclean spirits come out of the mouth of the dragon, and they go forth to the kings of the earth and work miracles to gather them to battle against God. So this curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth, when people like Will Duffy and I don't know his stance on it, but like people like Toon that are going to live stream and say how cool it is that we can send an arrow up at God's throne. Well, of course, if God's throne isn't there, if you don't believe in God's throne, if you don't believe that when Jesus ascended in and was a cloud removed him out of their sight, like that's how he's coming back, bro. Why are you don't believe that though? I can tell you don't believe that because you think it's cool that they can send rockets up to where Jesus went. Don't you understand? That is a battle. That it's an assault on God's throne. And it drives me nuts that people don't see it that way. Okay, back to Daniel. Check this out. Okay, so that was interesting that goat. Oh, here's the other thing. It says, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. This is just what I think of when I see the, oh, what did I do now? I closed that SpaceX one. Man, something wrong with me today. Sorry, guys. I think part of it is like half of me feels so unconfident or not confident that this is even working right. So I feel like maybe I'm doing this sort of in like wasting my time a little bit doing this, but I don't know. Sometimes it records it fine. Sometimes I don't have problems, and I don't know. Last time I should have just deleted the video because like half of it you couldn't. I wasn't doing things right, and so it was like half of it you couldn't hear audio. It wasn't showing on the screen. Hopefully this one's better. Dragon. Like it's just interesting. This thing does look like a little he goat or whatever. I think it'll spin when it. Okay, yeah. And it says he has a notable horn between his eyes, and I'm like, that kind of looks like a notable horn between his. I don't know. Maybe not. But it was flying over the face of the whole earth, guys. There's nothing else except this dragon that can do that in our world today. I mean, they tried to have that Boeing thing do it, and it was a big fail. And like, yeah, it's pretty much SpaceX Dragon is, they got Russian Soyuz and Progress that have been, supplying or whatever the space station. But the Dragon's the only one. Well, actually, the Soyuz brings people too. But the Dragon is basically the United States' only way to get into orbit, unless they want to buy tickets from Russia on the Soyuz. Okay, look at this. This is the trunk. But look at this. Would you guys say that this is like a horn? So if he said that the ram had two horns or something, like isn't this a horn? So then let's look at the Falcon 9 rocket, because that's their workhorse rocket that launches every Dragon capsule. It launches all their Starlink satellites. The Starship thing that launched yesterday that blew up, that's like a test vehicle. It's massive. But this Falcon 9, look at this. 423 completed flights, 379 landings, you guys. 352 total reflights. So the reflights, that's why they're doing this, because they can save so many millions of dollars by reflying them, apparently. So this is the Falcon 9 rocket. It's a 2-stage rocket. So there's the first stage. That's the part that comes back down and lands. And that's part of the booster. So the second stage, it's just got one engine on it. That's what carries either the Dragon capsule or whatever satellites or whatever they're bringing. Here's the Dragon. So they can put whatever on there. But the reason why I want you to look at this rocket is there's 2 stages of this rocket, okay? The first stage, second stage. And when we were reading the Revelation, like, it didn't make any sense to me until I was like, wait a minute, that kind of makes sense. In verse 11 in chapter 13 in Revelation, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. It's a 2-stage rocket, and it lifts, 2 horns. I don't know why it would be like a lamb. I don't know. Do lambs even have 2 horns? I don't know. Okay, and that's what's... How do you get back to the... Oh, I gotta scroll up. And that's what's lifting this into orbit. So, speaks like a dragon. And guess what? Like... So he speaks like a dragon. And this is the one that makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Okay, these Falcon rockets are the only orbital rockets that are reusable. They're the only ones that land. Orbital, Jeff Bezos has a little P rocket that lands. Okay, so let's just go to Falcon 9 if they got it right here. Here we go. 2-stage rocket. 2-stage to orbit. Yeah. So there's more. Let's just read some verses. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Youch. Let's just read some of these other ones. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness, but is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. Have you guys ever heard of a rocket launch? It's the loudest sound that men can even make. It's the loudest sound that we make is a rocket. That's stupid. Okay, with a roar, the elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and its works will be laid bare. Since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be? You ought to conduct yourselves in holiness and godliness. Okay, Revelation 21, verse 1. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. You guys, the sea that's talking about? I think that's talking about like the deep, like space or outer darkness or the abyss or dark waters. There's a lot of maybe ways to describe it. Matthew 24:35, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. 1 Thessalonians 5:2-3, for you are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night, while people are saying peace and security. Destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a pregnant woman. They will not escape. Revelation 16:15, behold, I am coming like a thief. Blessed is the one who remains awake and clothed, so that he will not go naked and let his shame be exposed. Isaiah 34, verse 4. All the stars of heaven will be dissolved. The skies will be rolled up like a scroll, and all the stars will fall like withered, arrogant, and every evildoer will be stubble. The day is coming when I will set them ablaze, says the Lord of hosts. Not a root or branch will be left to them. Luke 12:39-40. But understand this, if the homeowner had known at what hour the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour you do not expect. Joel 2:31, the sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming and the great and awesome day of the Lord. Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to deliver them on the day of the Lord's wrath. The whole earth will be consumed by the fire of his jealousy, for indeed he will make a sudden end of all who dwell on the earth. Ooh, gives me the goosebumps. Like, these are all different prophets we're reading. Like, all these guys that wrote this stuff, the verses we're reading, they wrote it, they didn't know each other. They wrote it at completely different times. And we have a collection of these prophets. I'm just saying, there's more going on than people just telling some story. These aren't just old fables or what oral tale. No, this is truth. And that's why I'm like, that's one reason why I'm like, it adds to my faith or whatever. I know that there is, and I know it's Jesus, that he lives in a state where he's not subject to anything. He's not subject to time. Everything's subject to him. Like, his words made the world. Like, he spoke it and boom, it happened. Like, I mean, that's like quite powerful. You say something and reality wants to obey you so bad that it just does what you said. That's pretty crazy. Okay, Revelation 3. Wait. Oh, yeah, I read that. Remember, then, what you have received and heard. Keep it and repent. If you do not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know what hour when I will come upon you. Isaiah 13, 9 through 10. Behold, the day of the Lord is coming, cruel with fury and burning anger, to make the earth a desolation and to destroy the sinners within it. For the stars of heaven and their constellations will not give their light. The rising sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. Hebrews 12, 26 through 27. At that time, his voice shook the earth. But now he has promised, once more I will shake not only the earth, but heaven as well. The words once more signify the removal of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that the unshakable may remain. Oh, I like that. Amos 5, 18 through 20. Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. What will the day of the Lord be for you? It will be darkness and not light. It will be like a man who flees from a lion only to encounter a bear. That's scary. Or who enters his house and rests his hand against the wall only to be bitten by a snake. Will not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even gloom with no brightness in it? Matthew 20. Oh, we already read that one, I think. Isaiah 2, verse 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty. Oh, lofty. You know what that means, right? Lifted up. And upon everyone that is lifted up. Oh! And he shall be brought low. You guys remember what we're talking about here? Like, the whole point of a rocket launch, it's just the Tower of Babel. It's round 2, though. All right, guys. The book of Enoch, chapter 57. I think he sees rockets and describes them quite well here. You tell me what you think. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place. And the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day. And they shall all fall down and worship the Lord of spirits. This is the end of the second parable. So he saw men riding their chariots on the wind. And it was super loud. So loud that it shook the pillars of the earth out of their place. Let's just see what is the loudest sound men make? Loudest sound a man can typically make is a forceful... Ah! That's not what I meant. Okay, so it would be the detonation of the SAR bomb, maybe. We'll get there. There's an explosion. Oh, that's the loudest sound ever recorded. Loudest sounds ever measured. Okay, here we go. What's the loudest man-made sound? Hydrogen bomb. SAR bomb. Okay, so if it's not the moment of a detonation, what is it? Let's see. Top 10 loudest sounds. Space shuttle launch. That's funny that they put that. That's not even accurate. The space shuttle was not even as loud as the Saturn V. But the Starship's way louder than the Saturn V. So it has something to do with sound where, you know how the heavens will, what is it? Let's see. We got more verses, I think. Or let's just see what we got. Oh, that's that one. We got Revelation 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Let's see what the next verse is. Here we are. And the kings of the earth, and great men and rich men, and the chief captains and mighty men, and every bondman and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. They went into the caves. Fall on us and hide us from the one who sits on the throne. Yeah, that's because if those people didn't believe he was on the throne till they could see his throne. And they're like, oh no. So they had to go hide because they didn't think he existed. And he's looking at them like he is right now. Should get used to thinking that way. It'll change your life, I'll tell you what. All right, so yeah, when access denied. Access denied, Elon. My YouTube's giving me trouble. All right, guys. Sorry I didn't see the chat much. I see you guys are in here chatting. Yeah. I don't know anything you don't know, but I just I think it's important that we make sense of the things that we can make sense of. I don't know if that's I don't know if I made sense of that sentence. I'm just there'll be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. There'll be signs in the heavens. Starlink. Have you guys seen Starlink? Let's just do a little YouTube look in, because you can get an idea of what people think of it stuff just by searching it on YouTube. That's another thing that I like about the final experiment. They used Starlink in Antarctica, and they were able to live stream. Before Starlink, you could not do that. There was no apparatus to do any of that. You'd have to have a satellite phone, I think was probably the only thing they could do. And that was like probably because of a polar orbit. Because if you're in Antarctica, like you're not a regular orbit wouldn't work. You'd have to so they have Starlinks on polar that are sent on polar orbits, so that they're going over those parts of the world. That's why they could get internet from there. And it's not a mystery. That's the thing. I heard Jaron say that today about someone asked him, well, what, are you rethinking about satellites or whatever? He goes, I don't know. He's like, or someone said, you don't think there's no orbit or something? He's like, no, I don't say that. I think maybe there's that there's that orbits work or whatever. Of course they do. Otherwise, put it this way. If you think that stuff is fake about the final experiment, you're for sure going to think stuff is fake about rockets and the idea of going into low Earth orbit. You're definitely going to think it's fake because you obviously don't have something. I don't know what it is. You don't have something that I do have. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm just saying the way you go about things is different than I could ever do it. I could never do what you do. So I'm just learning this now, that a lot of the people that, and maybe this is me, but they seemed to make sense to me. And then all of a sudden, once this final experiment happened, maybe it's me, but I can't make sense of anybody, like, the people saying it's fake. They don't even know what they're saying is fake. They're like, oh, I think they went to Antarctica, but they faked it in a studio. They faked some of it. They faked a little bit of it. He faked his breath. You guys are in a different realm than I'm in. That is not at all truth seeking. I still hear these guys saying, well, until they provide evidence that there's a 24-hour sun, we got nothing to go on. I'm like, okay. Like, at that point, that's when you just have to stop acknowledging that a person is you just have to go the other direction. Because you're not going to do them any good, and they're not going to do you any good. You know what I'm saying? Pray for them or whatever, or however you want to do it. Just when someone changes, or when you perceive them change to a way that is so I don't even know the word. It's such a gross and like irresponsible way to think, to go about. It's not even thinking. It's not think. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I could probably do that for a while. So Starlink, guys. Let's just look at Starlink. Okay, if you guys haven't seen this out in the night sky above your house, then you haven't been looking at the night sky. Okay, let's just be real. If you haven't seen this, I can't go full screen, I guess. But, if you haven't seen it, then you are really not paying attention to what's going on in the sky. So don't tell me that you are if you haven't seen these. Not that you have to see these, but what I'm saying is those aren't balloons. They're just satellites. And whether they're on a circuit or an orbit or whatever they're doing, they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. And isn't that interesting that, okay, there's, let's just find out how many, I think I read there was like 6,700. Over 7,000. Wow. 6,700. They left 300 since I looked last. And there's so much false information from these auto hoaxers about all of this stuff. They don't know anything I was actually watching one of these channels, just kind of listening, and I realized that this is going to sound crazy, but I think it's true. Every single thing that was, like every statement that was made, there was something totally inaccurate about it, or totally false, completely like a lie, or just made up, or just like no fact checking, and just, oh, that's what I think I'm going to say, so I just say it. And there's actually no content at all. They literally are just getting together to be like, hey, you find any more fake shit? Because, we could get some beers, find some fake stuff, we'd have something to do. Like, that's true. That's finding truth. That's weeding out the deception to some of these people. So keep going. You guys keep going. You guys are internet sleuths, and you guys are doing a killer job. Killer job. How many Starlink? 7,000. Because in Revelation, there's a plague of great hail. Do you guys remember that? Or a great plague of hail? Where did that come from? If the sky departed, what would happen to all the Starlinks? Oh, they're on balloons. They'd just float down. No, they're not on balloons, guys. They're in orbit. Or whatever you want to call it. LEO or whatever. They're in the sky. But they're in the night part of the sky. The dark part of the sky. Because you guys notice that when it can be the middle of the day, and then they launch a rocket, whether it's one of these stupid Blue Origin things or whatever, you notice that when they go up, like 2 minutes of being in that rocket, even though it's daytime, it's dark out. Where the rocket goes, it's dark. You can see the sun, but it's dark, and then you can see the earth, right? but they went into the night during the day. Do you guys get what I'm saying? It's dark above the earth, even though the sun's there. Okay, so let's see. Did we get on my link or all my stuff? I think we did. Okay, I'm going to go say hi to the chat here if I can figure out how to do that. I think the problem is those people believe we are thinking like that as well. So yeah, I think you're right, Shifty. It's like they're like, I heard Sav saying, or towards Jaren, or where he's like, if it wasn't you that went on the trip, you'd be doing the same thing. I'm like, no. And what these people don't understand, they're not asking questions. They're just like, we're just asking some questions. No, you're making a blunt and bold and direct accusation towards someone that you have no reason not to trust. It's that you don't want a 24-hour sun. That's what it is. Which is crazy. Thanks, Will Duffy. I think you did a great job. I actually agree with Will Duffy that I think God told Will Duffy to do the final experiment. I believe that. Because that's what Will said. He said he felt God was leading him to do that. And I think that Will's right. I think God was leading him to do that. And I think that God maybe did have something to do with the weather on those days. Doesn't mean Earth is a globe. I still think Earth is a plane. I think I always will, because that's what God showed me. So whatever. But as far as like people being exposed to be for being like deceptive, no way. Steven Skiba, you're in Minneapolis? I didn't even know that. That's cool. I'm just north of Minneapolis, like 20 miles. Just north of Anoka. The seed says, the sky departing, I wonder if that implies a volume change. Most likely an increase in volume. Yeah, probably. Or even like, it would be like, because we live in a pressurized system. So if the sky broke, and what's above the sky? Dark waters, right? Waters above. If the sky broke, what happens? And keep in mind that God said he's not going to flood the earth again. So the waters above, I don't think are there waters like in the ocean. The waters above are something that physics doesn't grasp. I think the physics' best way of describing it is a near vacuum. Because it's an emptiness. It's a void of I don't like to say matter. It's just a void. It's an abyss. It's like an empty void. So, like, it would probably be like a vacuum if there was nothing there. And then you get into the whole concept of, like, a vacuum can't actually exist because there's no, like, if you're going to have nothing, how do you have nothing? That doesn't even make sense. You can't have nothing. Let's see. Titus 2:13. This dude would get done with his prayer and then go right back to cousin and act in a fool. You guys must be having a conversation. Chilling. I'm planning on getting an infrared P900 and a P1000 to do sky observation long. Nice, dude. I want that infrared. I want to see that. That'd be sweet. The seed. Looking at the sun and thinking it comports with a model doesn't prove anything about the real world. That's right. They might as well say the observation aligns with a sci-fi space movie or series they like. Yeah, and you know what's that just remind, like, to add to that actually, like, just some of the things that Will Duffy's been saying in his videos, it's like making it seem like he's like caking it on a little too much. Do you know what I'm saying? He's saying things that, like, you should never say. Like, when Will Duffy, if you're going to hear this, if you're going to hear this, please answer the question, because I really want to know the answer, okay? Here's the question. Why does an equatorial mount not work on a flat earth? I want the answer. And I'll tell you what you're going to say. Because I'm like, you don't think we've heard this for 10 years, dude? your answer is, well, there's like 50 of these gotcha things that actually aren't a gotcha at all. Like, you think they are because you don't actually understand what you're saying. An equatorial mount works the same as it does round or flat. Doesn't matter. Identically the same. If you go to the south, you have to turn it the opposite way. If you go to the north, you have to turn it the opposite way. That's it. One axis of rotation. That's it. One circle. You just make your telescope go in a circle and it'll track anything in the sky. Because the sky, the heaven, has or it's encompassed. It's a circle. So, yeah, things orbit. Let's see. Sky departing, water departing, maybe. Yeah, and I mean, when I think of the sky, I'm like thinking of the blue sky, because we know the black sky, like the night sky, that's like that's when it's dark, I guess. But when the sun is around, it makes all these beautiful colors and like, yeah. Let's see here. Cheryl Savage, good to see you. It is all nonsense. I agree. It's all nonsense. I'm just checking on your guys' comments. Good to see all you guys. Thanks for hanging out, by the way, or stopping in. So I know some of you guys think that it's fake, and that's fine. But I would encourage you to just step back, not to step back for anybody else. Step back for yourself. Step back and look at what you're doing. Because I think when you say something's fake, you might just be saying, I don't see evidence for it. Like, I don't trust it. Okay. That's like a stance to take, but you don't realize like all the unspoken words that you're saying to a person when you say that they faked something. Like Austin put it, he's so good with words. He said, you're basically saying that I sold my soul to the devil to deceive the world. Like, that is, you don't just say, oh, I'm just asking questions, pal. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, there's a finality to some, like, you can make a comment to someone and they'll never speak to you again, right? Like, I don't know. You could probably tell someone almost anything and then a little bit of time and they'll speak to you again. You know what I'm saying? But some things that you say to a person, you can't look at that person the same anymore after that, because they've showed you a side to themselves that is undesirable and nobody wants anything to do with. So all I'm saying is, it's not a small thing to be saying that the final experiment was faked. It is like one of the most bold and final things that you'll end up saying. I think you'll look back and go, I can't believe I said something like that. It's because it is crazy to say stuff like that. Yeah, they faked it all, when nothing is fake. They didn't fake anything. And it's obvious. There's so much data in the public domain. Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence for the 24-hour sun yet. No, I think what's going on is that you're blind because you don't want to actually accept reality, and because you think that it's going to hurt something that you believe. Well, if it's true, it's not going to hurt something you believe. It's just, that's why, like, you don't get afraid of the truth. Okay, so let's see if I had something else. I don't think I do. I don't think I had anything else. Unless I can, yeah, I don't even think if I played a video on here on my computer, I don't think I would get the audio to go through. But Steven Skiba says it wasn't fake. I agree. And you guys, like, Will kind of sold it too in a weird way. Like, will we see the 24 hours? Of course you're going to see the 20. I don't know why Jaron and Austin thought you wouldn't. I mean, I understand the map. If you look at the AE map, you could think that it wouldn't. But all the rest of the world that's here has known for a long, like, it's in encyclopedias. The 24-hour sun tells you how far you got to go north, how far you got to go south to get the longer day, and like the 6-month day you have to be at the South Pole or whatever. Or to get one sunrise and one sunset a year, you have to be very far south or very far north. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm kind of rambling. Yeah. Don't really got much more to say, I don't think. Yeah, Duffy. A lot of the stuff you're saying in your videos makes you sound really new to the debate. Just letting you know that. Example, equatorial mounts only work on a globe because Red Frederick said that 18 years ago and I believed him. And I debated Red Frederick about that and made a video, said, oh, you just proved that, or equatorial mounts actually prove that the Earth is not rotating. They prove that the Earth is stationary and that the sky turns in a circle. Anyway, but yeah, so Toon and Duffy, you guys are like brainwashed into straw manning with like trolling straw men. You like troll the dumbest straw mans and then you try to pin it on us. You like Duffy. Eric Dubé made the dumbest video of the decade saying that your final experiment was filmed in a studio and it was all fake and it's gay. And then you go, I need an advocate from the flat earth that I can put in my video that's, a good, reliable flat earther. So I'm going to put Eric Dubé in my video about Southern Star Trails so I can straw man using Eric Dubé's garbage. That's like 15 years old anyway. Like, and then I debate Toon. What does Toon say? Oh, one of his big points is the star trails don't work on the flat earth. And I'm like, yeah, they do. You're dumb. The stars have always done what they do. What are you talking about? Just because you think that the earth has curvature, now you think that the stars don't do what they do? I don't get it. What are you saying? That's why it's so stupid to say that an equatorial mount only works on a globe. No. You clearly don't know what an equatorial mount even is, Will. If you did, actually, my next live, I'll break it down. I'll show you how it works. I'll show you that it only works because the sky is rotating. That's what the sidereal motor is for in the equatorial mount. It's not because the earth is rotating. It's not to compensate for the earth rotating. That's just made up. But anyway, Steven Skiba says that makes the movement look bad. You know what though? I think you might agree to a certain point. Austin said it. He said, let him, because he was saying in his first live stream or whatever, and he knew people are going to be going crazy in the chat. But he said to the moderators beforehand, he said, I don't want to delete comments. Just let them fly. I want people to see what people are saying. And it was crazy. But after hearing him and thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, that's a good. You do want people to basically expose themselves for just being like false accusers. It's a very heavy thing that people are doing to other people. So anyway, it does make the movement look bad, but I think also I'm going to be patient. I'm going to trust God. I know that God didn't come into my life like 10 years ago and show me and totally change my life, by the way, and show me that I was believing a lie. I know that he didn't show his prophets some of the things in the Bible that we just went over. They saw things flying up to the stars and making the stars fall down. And then today we're watching Elon Musk land rockets and crash rockets and debris flying all over the place, looking like shooting stars and stuff. I don't know. I just think that here's what I say, to be on the side of the debate that ridicules and mocks and demeans and belittles everyone on the other side, you're a loser. I'm sorry. That's sad. You shouldn't be that way. I think that there are a lot of people that disagree in the debate, but are probably both on the right side of the truth. Because what Karen B said in Jaron's chat tonight, she said the most true thing in the chat. She said, I think she said, the truth is we know nothing, or we don't know anything. And I said, Karen B knows the truth. Like there's an element, for me anyway, there's an element of truth in that. One of the biggest things that I've learned in the last 10 years is that if I feel like I'm confident about something, like hit me over the head, because I know I'm not. Like I feel like it until I know nothing about this. What I'm saying is I'm here to learn. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to have a stance and say, I already know that. I already know this. I already know that the moon is 238,000 miles away. You can say a lot of shit, but it doesn't mean anything unless you're like, it doesn't mean anything if you're just like saying stuff. Like, what was an example? If you wanted to go out and do like a long distance, like if you went to look at the Chicago skyline from across the lake, it's like if you go do that, like however long it takes you spend a whole day there or something or whatever. After that day happens, your mind starts thinking about things that you saw something that you had never really noticed before, had never seen before, but since you spent that whole day kind of on that thing, there's a whole bunch of factors opened up. And now your mind is like aware of all these different little things, you noticing things that you never thought of before. That's why I'm saying, like, Will, don't say that an equatorial mount only works on a globe, because you don't know what you're talking about. And later on you'll go, that was kind of dumb for me to say that, because I really didn't know why I was saying that. Get what I'm saying? But because, yeah. I don't know. I don't got much more to say. Love you guys. Keep your head on your shoulders. Don't accuse people of things falsely and with no evidence. And probably don't accuse people of things unless you caught them doing something. And I mean not if they're explaining themselves and you assumed this and you're like, I caught you doing this, and they're like, no, you didn't actually catch me. I did this and this, and they explain it and it makes sense. And then you can't deal with that, so you got to no, you did lie, you did this, and all of a sudden you're just attacking the person. You hate them. You hate them. You make videos and to go after them. What for? Especially when they're telling the truth. That's the scary part. They're telling the truth, and they got more receipts than you could shake a stick at. More data, more videos. I heard someone say almost 100 terabytes. Maybe Will said that. That all together, they got almost 100 terabytes of video and all that. That's a first, you guys. There's never been an expedition to Antarctica to film the sun. There's been expeditions to Antarctica to do tons of stuff. But this one was specifically to bring cameras and gather data. That's what they did. They gathered all these facts around them. Things were happening and they were recording it all. And they come back and what do they hear? Oh, you guys faked it all. Like, honestly, if I was Jaron and Austin, I would have been like, I would have raised my middle fingers up and I'd have been like, oh, you guys wanted footage? I lost it. I was trying to get it off my GoPro and it bricked. Sorry, guys, you can't get nothing. That's what I would have done. I would have done that. But I probably would have come out later and been like, all right, I guess I'm going to release it because I get so much trouble for that. But honestly, the way that people are acting is disgusting. Totally disgusting. And then they feel justified in it somehow. Like they're going to get to the truth if they just keep making up stuff. But I've tried to talk to people and I realize that they don't want any sense talked in, because if you say anything against their conspiracy or their idea of it, if you say anything against it, you're the enemy. You're the enemy now. And it happened to me just recently. So I was like, okay, well, I can't do anything about that. And you get blocked or hidden on the channel or whatever. And they're like, okay, I just won't. I'm going to go this way. I'll go this way. Don't care what you're doing. I'm just going this way. But, I like that. The seed says, sanity is a fragile thing. Stay close to God. I'm going to end the stream with that. That's probably the best words that came out of my mouth today. Let me see that again. Now I lost it. Founded Earth Brother says, but falsely accusing people gets you views. Oh, I know, and that's sad, but I think you can tell when someone's here for views or if someone's here that's trying to talk about something real or whatever. It's like a hangout. I think they like hang out. And I can see that being fun, but when it starts to be where someone's lying and then the whole panel's just silent about it, it's like when the police show up, 5 cops show up and one of them starts beating somebody for no reason. The other 4, it's their job to stop that bad cop and be like, stop the bad happening. But they don't. They just sit there and they're like, I'm not going to say nothing. So that's just as guilty if you ask me. That's what I think. But yeah, stay close to God. I like that. I guess I lost that one. Okay, so let me go back. Let me finish with an interesting flat Earth verse from the Bible. I asked Will Duffy about this. I said this verse in his church. I had it on the overhead projector. I had 17 versions of Isaiah 40 verses 4 and 5. I read them all out, and maybe we'll do that right now just to read a couple. It's a prophecy. That's what I think it is. Isaiah was prophesying about, he was prophesying about Jesus coming, and John the Baptist quoted him, and he was saying, prepare the way of the Lord. Remember? Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Well, I think Isaiah was not only talking about when Jesus would be born here, but when he would return here. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go to Bible Hub, I guess. Yeah, let's just go to Bible Hub. Sorry, guys. Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amos. Yeah, vision of Isaiah, son of Amos. Okay, which chapter? 40. And I just want to look at a couple of the versions because I think that was the ASV, American Standard Version. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the uneven ground shall be made level, and the rough places a plain. And the glory of Jehovah shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord or Jehovah hath spoken it. Do you guys know that if like, obviously, like, what are those gender reveals that people do, like the pink or blue, or I don't know, they do all sorts of kind of creative ways of finding out what gender their baby is, right? Like a reveal, it's something that, I mean, I think a lot of times they probably know, like, but it's kind of like a act that they do. But if you don't know what kind of, or what your child's going to be, and then it's revealed, right? You know a lot more after that than you knew before it was revealed. So just think about it like that. The glory of Jehovah shall be revealed. What does that mean? It means something of the glory of Jehovah, it'll be seen when it wasn't seen before. Like, it'll be revealed. Like, something will be to see. Something will be, I don't know how to, my vocabulary is not my strong point. Maybe if I do this with my hands, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? When something's revealed, I mean, it can be something small or something big, but it's something that you didn't previously know or didn't comprehend it a certain way until something was revealed, and then from that point on, it's all different. Something's different about it. But so let's just look at another version. Is it this one? Maybe Christian Standard Bible. Every valley will be lifted up, and every mountain and hill will be leveled. The uneven ground will become smooth, and the rough places a plain. What's a plain? What is a plain, you guys? People say, oh, the Bible doesn't say flat earth. It's not a flat earth book. Well, it's describing mountains being knocked down and valleys being, like, flattened out, lifted up and flattened out. That's literally the shape of the earth. Like, you couldn't have it, you couldn't say it a different way. It's not like the shape of the dirt. It's like the actual shape of it's topography, or I don't know, it's the shape of the earth. And it's saying that it's going to be a plain. What's a plain? A plain, let's just see what Merriam-Webster says. It says a lot of things. Lacking ornament, undecorated, free of extraneous matter, pure, free of impediments to view, unobstructed, evident to the mind or senses, obvious, clear, marked by outspoken candor, free from duplicity or subtlety, belonging to the masses, lacking special distinction or affectation, ordinary. Dude, a plain, a noun. That's what we're looking for. An extensive area of level or rolling, treeless country, a broad, unbroken expanse. What does broad mean, you guys? What does broad mean? Having an ample distance from side to side, wide. Okay. It's broad, it's not curved. Anyway. All right, guys, that's it. I've said this like 20 times. A plain, it's just flat. It's a flat expanse, unbroken expanse, a broad yeah. All right. Checking out here. And all right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I'm kind of, I'm kind of all over the place here tonight, but I think, I like what Shifty Eye Shades said. I think TFE Globers believed 24-hour sun would kill Flat Earth, but Flat Earth tore itself apart instead of Globers got what they wanted, even if it wasn't first intent. Yeah, and actually watching the reaction of the Globers is kind of funny. Like, it's kind of weird to me. And honestly, it's not a good idea to encourage someone by having them come to your channel for debates about, okay? I'll just say the names. Flatzoid, you're a dummy. Dustin Nemos, you're a dummy. Sorry, guys. I got no respect for you guys and your lack of of ability to reason in this world. It's insane. And the slander and stuff, like, it continues on, but whatever. But I think the way you said it, but Effie tore itself apart, I think that's God doing that. That's what I think. I think God's doing that. You know, it talks about in, where is that? It's in Zechariah. Let me look up one more verse before we go. Zechariah 13, I think. Let me just see if I can. It talks about, and it's also in Revelation. It talks about, like being, like gold and silver being refined in the fire, like being purified. Isaiah, or did I say Isaiah? Or Zechariah? Ooh. 13, I think. Cleansing from sin. I think, you guys, this is good. Okay, check this out. This might just ring a bell. Like, I'm not saying anything about flat earth or anything, but just the experience of like, that I've experienced today. This really speaks to me. Okay, where is it? Right here. It's at the end. verse 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire. I think what it could be talking about that. Like that could be talking specifically about. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that it just like really fits, doesn't it? 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. The third shall be left therein. I'll bet you that's Flatsoy's third. I'm just kidding. He's weeding out the deception, he said. And I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name and I will hear them. I will say it is my people and they will say the Lord is my God. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. See, when I read that, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, that's space exploration. It's all the nations gathered against New Jerusalem to battle. Like, that's just saying Jerusalem, but I think today, I believe that New Jerusalem is up in the sky. I think that's where Jesus is. That's where he he ascended up in a cloud, removed him from their sight. And then those 2 men in white said, hey, he's coming back in the same way. Hey, buddy. Ooh, you were outside. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, guys. I think we're in a battle. And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half the city shall go forth in captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, and when he fought in the day, or as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand on that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half the mountain shall remove towards the north, and half of it toward the south. Oh, careful. That just sounded like something else I was reading. Where was it? Where it said half of the mountain shall be removed toward the north, and half of it toward the south. Weren't we just reading something that said something just like that? Maybe it was here. Yeah. Oh, no. That's not it. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Revelation 6:14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. I don't know why. That just kind of reminded me of that. Half the city shall go forth into captivity. The residue of the people shall be cut off from the city. Oops. And I lost my place. Oh, we're at verse 5. And ye shall flee to the valleys of the mountains, for the Valleys of the mountains shall reach unto Azal, yea, ye shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah king of Judah. And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall be. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. All the land shall be turned. Oh, look at this. All the land shall be turned as a plain. Well, that's interesting now, isn't it? We just looked up the word plain. All the land shall be turned into a broad expanse. Interesting. From Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place. From Benjamin's gate unto the gate of the first gate unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel to the king's wine presses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Yeah. No more rockets, no more, what do they call it when they did the urine dump? Urine dump on the space shuttle. They just dump their urine up into, they just shoot it out of the space shuttle into heaven. I'll bet you they'll be paying for that one day. Just saying. He's like, it was cool. It was a urine dump. It was cool. It looked cool. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be thinking it's cool. I just think you're going to change your mind about that. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm out. It's 11:49, and I hope you have a good night. And yeah, I know I'm forgetting something. I didn't write it down, so I'm not. I guess I'm not forgetting it. It'll be next time. All right, guys. I got to figure out how to get back to this stream and end it. Okay, much love. You guys have a good one. Thank you. And yeah, keep seeking the truth and not making up truth. All right. See ya.